Okay, so just for public record, right? If all the YouTubers that's going through the same thing, we need to get together and figure out a way to get in contact with YouTube so they can fix these problems where there's being bots put on our channels. I just ended my live not even 5 minutes ago, and it's saying that my live ended 4 hours ago. The live cut off. I didn't even end my live. The live cut off on me and knocked everybody out of the chat. And now it's saying 4 hours later, I have X amount of views, but in my own community guidelines, it's sitting up there saying that I have no views at all. And it's showing no views. So here's my thing. It didn't even show me at the end where it showed me my views. It didn't even show me that because it kicked me out. And at some point in time, us that's being shadow banned to have bots on our pages, we have to come together so we can get in contact with YouTube to fix this. Because if we don't do it together, I mean, if they playing with your numbers, then they playing with your money, right? It's safe to say that, right? And it's safe to say that you have other channels out there that know how to put bots or have people behind the scenes at YouTube to slow your channels down to keep their channels afloat. That's all I'm saying, man. It is what it is. The game is rigged. We have to unrig it. Mount.
Invest in Lift Air.
club, and you ain't in it. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in your media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, but you have to be asleep to believe it.
You have to be asleep to believe it.
Internet traffic is fake, and all of this is coming from Chinese phone farms. So the people that you're arguing online with about different things such as politics and city rules, well, it's all fake, and it's probably just a robot. These phone farms usually have tens of thousands of phones that are connected to one computer that's controlling all of them. The way it works is that the people who run this typically take the batteries out of all these phones and then connect all the motherboards together in order to monitor it on one computer. And then with the use of AI, they're able to generate responses across social media, making it seem like they're coming from a real person, when in fact, it's just one big computer. I don't think you guys understand how sophisticated this actually is, because each phone represents one person, but yet it's all connected to one computer that literally controls all of them. 1/3 of all internet traffic is fake.
The Bible makes it clear when you argue with a fool, you become just like them, especially to be the bigger person, move in wisdom and walk away. People don't even understand they're arguing with AIs nowadays.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Regal Will here, aka Tech Hustler, and hold on. Oh man, there's some new people out there, new subscribers. All right, good-looking ones too. Anyways, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, Tech Hustler. I'll give you a brief overview. I am a phone farmer. I use smartphone applications, mainly for Android, to run ads and whatnot to make me some money. I also mine Bitcoin. That's can't really see much, but trust me, we're mining in there. And if you return to my channel, we'll take a look inside that tent. But anyways, let's talk about phone farming. I hope you guys can hear me. See, I got my fancy lapel microphone because it's loud in here. But anyways, let me flip the camera and show you what I've been up to. All right, guys, here's my setup. As you can see down here, I am running a few computers. There are some websites that pay you as well. But basically, there's a plethora of smartphone applications. There's a company.
Y'all see that, right? See it? Yeah.
Company called Perk. Perk has multiple applications. There's Perk TV Live. There's Perk TV, app trailers, Perk word search, Viggle. I don't know what else we have open right here. There's also Super Pop Quiz, Unlock and Win, App Redeem. Now, Perk has some passive options like Perk TV Live up here. Pretty much set it and forget it. Maybe once a day I'll come around, clear the cache, reset my phone. There's another one I don't have up right now. It's Shoutout. Again, set it and forget it. Maybe once a day, every couple days, clear out the cache. That's all you have to do. There's an app down here, Cache Magnet, very passive. It'll run for 12 to 36 hours. It depends on which level you have. These are some of my non-passive apps. Well, really,
You know what? This might explain them people that you hear them bragging about. Oh, I got monetized in 30 days and 20 days and all that. And you saying ain't no way. Ain't no way. See, we ain't know about all this. See? Y'all learning something today.
I'd still consider them passive because you only have to click a button every couple hours. But Super Pop Quiz, that's an Earn Honey app. I'm trying to see what else. Right here, I believe this is Fit Play. You just download apps and pretty much let them run themselves while they stack up change. One thing about phone farming, you're going to need a handful of phones. I'd say, of course, you can start off with one phone, but I'd say a minimum of 5 phones. All right, guys, so you've seen my passive and non-passive apps. I want to show you something I do twice a day, which I call a pump and dump. This helps me rack up a lot of points really, really fast. All right, guys, this is what I call a pump and dump. Usually twice a day, early in the mornings before everyone wakes up, and late at night after everyone goes to bed. I'll come here and I'll set up the majority of these phones on Unlock and Win, app redeem. I make sure I have my app trailers going. I set my Vigil up, and then boom, I come here to my non-passive apps and I just start clicking away. Bam, go over here, bam, bam. And then I wait it out. Boom, click. I just wait for these ads to run. Bam, 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 bam. Points, points, points.
You gotta wonder where these dudes getting all these phones like that from. I know they ain't just going out buying them. I wonder if they be getting, well, you probably go to eBay or something like that and buy them. But I know they be having them kiosks in the malls and stuff like that, where you just trade your phone in. I'm wondering if a lot of them phones they get put in them boxes, that's where they end up at. Anything's a possibility. Who knows?
And I'll have almost all of these set up, almost all of these phones to where I'm clicking, clicking, clicking. I do have multiple accounts. I have an account for myself and my wife. And like I said, I'll have all these phones opened up so there really is no downtime. But boom, here you go. Here we go again. We'll find a video. Bam. And I'll do this for about an hour. And this will give me 5.
You know what? See, now it makes sense too, because when you think about it, you got a lot of people who be trolling your live and stuff. Then when you go check out who they are, man, they've been in existence for about a year or more, but only got 1 subscriber and no content or none of that. Yo, I'm thinking that that's what this is. So y'all don't need to be sitting there arguing with them fools when they doing that, because y'all already know that's what it is.
$5 in the morning and $5 at night. So $10 a day across 2 accounts. That's $20 a day. That's $600 a month just from one application. When I say one application, I mean from Perk. But anyways, guys, so that's really what's going on. This is just a video.
Well, so if anybody know Hassan Cambell, y'all let him know. This might be the problem right here. So, man, it do get crazy out here. But anyway, let's move it right along. Talk about Birdman and Denzel and Diddy and Young Jock. From what I'm understanding, they saying it's an affidavit out for him from a young lady. But we'll see what they got to say about it. Let me pull that up.
Christopher Williams, aka Birdman, aka Baby. Denzel Hayes won. Brian Christopher Williams, aka Birdman, aka Baby. Denzel Hayes Washington Jr., Sean Love Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, and Giselle Amon Robinson, aka Young Jock. And this describes an incident at the Playboy Mansion here in Simi Valley on or around 2009, 2010, while she was in foster care. Allison Leilani Carter, previously known as Outlaw, test under oath the following account of mine and all my alter parts personal experiences to be true and accurate to the best of our knowledge regarding the Playboy Mansion after party attended by Birdman, Denzel, Diddy, and Young Jock.
Listing your house on the market isn't the only way to sell your house. Selling to us is much faster, easier, and way more.
My birthday is February 15th, 94. Damn, that's my father's birthday. And this party was on or around. There's only a few snapshots of the affidavit here. She hasn't released the whole thing. Supposedly she released this information herself, so trying to find a full document. She has it within her possession, man. So anyway, party favors means that kids are literally set on the table and had to wait for people to come choose them for relation. Once they were...
Damn. Y'all hear this? Let me keep it. All right, I'm gonna come back.
Done having relations, the kids were placed back on the party favor table, and someone else could then come and pick them out from the table and repeat the process. There's only a few snapshots of the affidavit here. She hasn't released the whole thing. Supposedly she released this information herself, so trying to find a full document. She has it within her possession, man. So anyway, party favors means that kids are literally set on the table and had to wait for people to come choose them for relation. Once they were done having relations, the kids were placed back on the party favor table, and someone else could then come and pick them out from the table and repeat the process. I had to have relations with so many people that night, I cannot remember them all, and some of the other alters hold those memories. Partygoers went into a frenzy / group setting mindset. Once the DJ started the music and turned on the flashing lights, there were fetishes happening everywhere, and they kind of separated them into areas where specific fetishes was happening. For instance, the fetish of having sex in a red liquid was in one area, while having sex with four-legged beings was in another area. People were just in a craze.
Damn. And LeBron said, ain't no party like a Diddy party. LeBron, what you been doing? What you been in them parties doing, LeBron? Animals? Come on now.
And kind of frenzy. When the music started, I was sitting on a party favorite table. The main room was big like a ballroom. There were outlying doors around the edges of the room. Some of the doors were shut, but you could still see the food sex table, the party favorite table, and many other things. There were different types of parties happening in different areas of the house. I had to sit on the party favorite table and wait to be chosen, the way someone would choose a gift bag off the table at a birthday party. Two guys took me off the table and they brought me. All right, she bouncing around in this, and was part of the Kings of Comedy. He also wore was a part of the Kings of Comedy. He also wore a gold chain. He was complaining that he didn't hour set, but there was no one to smash backstage. This comedian broke the no backdoor relations rule and had backdoor relations with me anyway and just laughed. I screamed for my handler / pimp. Everyone was laughing and I ended up getting in trouble. I was then told to have relations on the table with a girl who was my age. Then they brought in donkeys and burros. We had to have relations with them too. There were several girls that had to have relations with animals while everyone watched. Another girl and I ended up throwing up afterward, and they rubbed our faces in it as punishment. Yeah, man. So that's it.
Mm, 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 mm. Wiki. A whole lot of wiki. Anyway, man, man. Anyway, so let's get to Denzel.
A new exclusive report in Us Weekly reveals actor Denzel Washington had a heated confrontation with rapper Sean Diddy Combs at an all-night party back in 2003. Washington reportedly abruptly left with his wife, telling Diddy, quote, "You don't respect anyone." This incident has resurfaced amidst Combs' current legal troubles. He faces charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has pleaded not guilty.
Well, with that being said,
GoForms makes it easy to digitize documents or build.
let me give props to Stevie Knight for putting that info out there. He about to hit his 1 million subscribers. So y'all go support his channel. All right, let's get back to it. Now, I ain't gonna hold y'all. When I saw the documents, I was saying nothing about these documents look like an official court document. Anybody who's had to appear before a judge know what I'm talking about. The way it looks, anyone could have just typed those documents up just to create a scandal. But let's see what they saying in the comments section.
A new exclusive report in Us.
And say Denzel was there with his wife and spoke what he felt was appropriate to Diddy and left. Sounds like something Denzel would do. He is a family man, which he has proven over the years. I have heard people trying at throw shade at Denzel, but I never believed it. Is you a bot, C. Coleman? See, after that video I watched with them phone farms, now when I see these circles with these letters, it hit different. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. LeBron James, JJ, JJ Men 533. You filed for that one. Anyway, people are being fooled. First, watch the testimony of Allie Carter. Allie Carter is the girl who made the affidavit that y'all heard Stevie reading. She's the one who taking him to court. So first watch the testimony of Allie Carter about Denzel Washington and talk to people who actually work in the movie industry before putting Denzel Washington on a pedestal. I was his biggest fan until I heard different people confirm that Allie Carter was being truthful. Remember, actors know how to act and put on a mask. All righty then. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. They said that Denzel, he stormed out of the party with his wife. Now, let me go to that video. Yeah, let me go to that video and let me see real quick.
How you doing, Denzel? How you doing tonight, man? Looking good, Denzel. Looking good. Looking good, Denzel. Denzel, can I get one look over here?
Now I got to use the security trick on you guys. Trained professional.
See, we could call 50 motherfuckers. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for you. We could call 50 fools, man. That's what you want? Us to call 50 paparazzi or what? Hey, relax. All right, then.
All right, so they're saying this is him leaving the P. Diddy party. And they saying he left looking angry and mad after yelling at Puff.
He likes his right side. If you take a picture of his right side, it'll leave you alone.
All right, man.
Is it easy to go down there?
Yeah, there's no traffic.
Y'all make sure he gets down.
Here you go. Flag it up. Flag it up. No, come up. What? Hold up.
All right, so what they saying in the comment section? Always leaves 30 minutes before the devil gets there. Laughing emoji. They say he doesn't look intoxicated. He looks like he came, he saw, he left, the end. Somebody put, well, Dusty Soul LTD said, LOL. I wish they had shown the whole tape. The beginning shows Denzel going into the party happy, talkative, full of smiles, and interacting with the press full of smiles. And you see how he comes out about 20 minutes later. Thank God money, fame, and power didn't make them all lose their minds. So somebody, apparently Denzel got into it with Diddy before he left the party, telling Diddy You don't respect any of these people. You respect nobody. Yeah, and that's what even Fox reported that that's what he said. Somebody put, he looked like he saw evil. This man always got my respect. It is the first time I see this video. I'm even more proud of him. He run calming away. God bless him. Somebody said Aaron Hall did say Denzel seen him in action before. This may have been that night. The way he leaves without saying anything says everything. So yeah, as y'all could see, everybody rooting and cheering Denzel on. Now, somebody said, what did they say? Guys, he was named in a lawsuit against one of the girls who was at one of those parties. I couldn't believe it at first, but she has turned in some evidence that should unfold soon. I see a lot of people defending him, which is understandable. But like some are saying, don't celebrate until everything is uncovered. And see, that's what I'm saying. I seen another comment that said that Diddy Diddy Denzel people's hard at work trying to clean this up. And it's a spin being put on it. But let me just say this. Something that I noticed. And y'all might not like this. Let's go back to the footage real quick. So I wanna go back to right about here. There you go. That's my problem right there.
Can y'all make sure he gets down?
You see it? Here we go again. One more time. All right. The problem is they said he was with his wife when he yelled at Diddy. So if he was with his wife, like they said when he yelled at him, did his wife stay in the party while he left? Things that make you go, I mean, think about it. Everybody talking about he stormed out with his wife. I don't see no wife, people. So did he creep off from wifey dressed in black on a different night? that she didn't know about, Denzel, you got some explaining to do. Especially since after yelling at Diddy, they can be seen in many photos together. So, man, I'm hoping it's not true. You know, Denzel done did a lot for a lot of people and all that. But at the end of the day, if you live in foul, you live in foul. And that's what it is. So, pay up when they catch up and they done caught up. It make you think. I don't know, y'all. So now, this is an opinion. Yeah, my brother always say opinion. So it could be an opinion that maybe Denzel brought his wife to the Diddy party and he knew what it was about, but he was just checking her temperature to see if she would be with it at the, at the Diddy experience. I mean, after all, people have to somehow, some way figure out if they mate would be into being a swinger couple. So how do you break that ice? Well, a Diddy party, that would definitely break the ice. If he saw the wife wasn't with it, he could easily just tell that she wasn't, because look, they've been married for what, 41 years? So to play it off like he didn't know, he yelled at Diddy in front of everybody and stormed out. Then look back and give Diddy the wink, like, okay, I'm out, yo. I know not to bring her no more. I'm just saying, you know, things happen. So I ain't gonna hold you. I'm conflicted on this one. You know, I don't know. So in the video, was he angry at Diddy, or was he angry because somebody alerted the paparazzi and they was outside waiting to expose him for being at the Diddy party? Especially since he had embarrassed Diddy in front of everybody by yelling at him and storming out the party with his wife. When you think about it, what made them hang out that late at night at that Diddy party, or made him hang out that late at Diddy party? And who let the paparazzi on the property that late at night? Because it looked like they right at the front door, the side entrance, or wherever he came up out of. But then you got to ask, where's the footage of all the rest of the celebrities that was at the party leaving out? And now I think about it, how do we even know this a Diddy party he leaving from? You know, we don't know. This could be him leaving from a late night at work, doing some scene or something. Because the question, like I said, how paparazzi get up on that door like that if they at a Diddy party? Anyway, I think somebody lined them up. But, you know, we'll find out in the end. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Because, we still don't even know where the Epstein list is. So, who knows? But, moving right along, let's talk about this Disney worker and his filthiness. With everybody else caught in that situation. So here we go.
First, I want to introduce you to this wonderful team of folks. They, along with others, are the reason we had a remarkably successful operation called Autumn Sweep. We were joined by One More Child, Heartland for Children, DCF, Lake Wells Police, Devonport Police, Clearmont Police, Auburndale Police, St. Cloud Police, Winter Haven Fire Rescue, Lakeland Police, Haines City Police, Winter Haven Police, Haines City Police, Marion County Sheriff's Office, Lake County Sheriff's Office, Tampa Police, and the State Attorney's Office. Now, also speaking today will be Captain Toddy Thompson from Lakeland, Chief Parker from Davenport, Chief Velasquez from Lake Wells, Joni Domingue from One More Child, Katie Ann Parchment from Heartland for Children. I'm going to give a brief overview of what occurred, and then we're going to focus on a couple of topics. We focus on going after the human trafficking operations, and we understand that there are live victims that we're trying to rescue every day, and then we culminate with an operation such as this with our partners. And the only reason we can be successful is because of the number of partners that we have. This operation began on October 2nd, and it only lasted 5 days because of the hurricane. So we had to cut it off early. And despite that, we made 157 arrests, 47 prostitutes, 96 Johns, and 14 for a variety of other charges. We arrested one for human trafficking. Usually it's remarkably difficult to find the human trafficker, but we did this time. We also rescued 4 potential victims of human trafficking that admitted it up front. Now, our wonderful NGOs that are here today will follow up with all of these people, because after creating a relationship and partnership, usually they identify others who, once they become accustomed to the NGOs and see that they're there to help them, may also be noticed. But we are excited that we were able to rescue 4 potential victims of human trafficking. Now, this is such a popular thing in Florida. You know, you come to Florida on vacation, a lot of people want to leave on probation. And this time was was not different than any other time. People came from 9 other states in order to be arrested in Polk County, Florida. I take that as a great compliment. They were from California, New York, Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, and one came to us all the way from the UK. So I don't know how our jails and lockups compare to the UK, but we have a subject matter expert now. 26 of those were married. The youngest John we arrested was 15. The oldest one was 61. We added 35 new felony charges and 201 misdemeanor charges as a result.
Y'all hear that? And like they said, it would have been a whole lot more, but Hurricane Milton was on the way. So they had to shut it down. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Result of this operation. What's interesting is that there were 327 prior felony charges that had been filed against these people. So we weren't dealing with a lot of people who just stumbled in by mistake. And there were 455 prior misdemeanor charges filed against these people. Now, these that we arrested, some of the charges included 2 counts of homicide, that are 2 people charged with homicide. Apparently those were all processed in the process, vehicle homicide, kidnapping, robbery, and a sundry of other charges. So there was some very bad people that we arrested. Now, for just a moment, I want to focus on what I think is a huge concern, and that huge concern is those that came here illegally. So I'm going to roll out a couple of things for you. First, I want you to see this chart. 25 illegal immigrants were arrested in this operation. They were from Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico. 16% of these total arrests were people who should not even have been in this country, but they were here. And they were here because we have a federal government that enabled these criminals to come into the country and then treated them very well after the criminals came here illegally. So let me share a story with you, and then I'm going to read a quote for you and then let you see a video. The prostitutes that came here, several of them had to pay off a coyote debt. Some of them said, hey, we did it because it was easy money. Others said, well, we came here and we were illegal. We couldn't get employment, so we turned to prostitution. Some of them said we were threatened and our family was threatened if we did not prostitute for the coyotes or for the human traffickers. So I'm going to tell you one story about one of our suspects, Maria, and that's not her real name. She's from Venezuela. She made a conscious decision to come to this country to commit crime. She flew into Mexico from Venezuela. She walked across from Juarez, Mexico into El Paso, Texas with her one-year-old child, where she was greeted by the Border Patrol. Did you hear what I said? She was greeted by the Border Patrol. There was no sneaking. She flew in.
You know what's crazy about that? Help me to understand this. It's illegal for them to do that, to come into the country, right? Like literally, they're breaking the law by coming across that border illegally. So they bugging. But you'll target American citizens for any little illegal thing. I mean, people still getting locked up in some places for jaywalking. Jaywalking. But here these people just come in illegally and nobody do nothing. Make that make sense. Yo, the math ain't mathing on that one. But it is what it is.
And she got here. She simply walked across the open border. There is no border security at the southern border. Zero. It doesn't exist. So when she was greeted, and you'll understand why we use that term in a minute, you'll understand that she went to the Border Patrol processing, where in one day she completed the processing and was released to a facility, a holding facility, a housing facility for immigrants. She said, I was given a DNA test to make sure that my DNA matched my child's. He was given a DEA test to make sure he was really my child. She said, once that occurred, they set me down and they told me all about the benefits that I would get in the United States. She said I was eligible and I had to fill out these forms so that I could get those benefits. She said, so I fill forms out for Medicaid, for SNAP, which is money for food. She said I was given free travel from the border to Chicago. When I got to Chicago, I couldn't find gainful employment there. So I thought, what the heck? I'll go to Florida. And then I got to fly to Florida. She was giving free housing. All
Wow. Medicaid, that's like free health care. Food stamps, free food. Man, what somebody say? I think was it Dave Chappelle. He said, how does that even work? You telling the people they ain't qualified for Medicaid, they ain't qualified for food stamps. You can't there's no money in the budget to give them aid. But then all they gotta do is leave out of there and look around and boom, all the illegal immigrants getting it. I know somewhere they said that you got Americans now jumping in them lines and saying that they're illegal immigrant just to get those benefits. It's crazy out here. Anyway.
because the United States paid for that. That's right. You, the taxpayers, got to pay for that. So this was all simply walking across the border. She said it was unbelievable to me. But let me read her quote, because understand, she walked across the border. This was not a stealthful act. And then they gave her free travel, free housing, free food, free medical care. All why people from the hurricane are still waiting for help. Let me read in English, and then we're going to play the video clip she agreed to do if we'd use another name. When I passed through immigration.
Back, I ain't even think about the hurricane victims that need help. Oh, man.
They sat me down and explained to me all the benefits I was eligible for. I was told I could apply for government assistance. I could apply for health medical insurance for my son, and I could apply for food assistance. After I finished talking to immigration, a short time passed until a DNA test was done on me and my son to prove that he was my son. Then they set me down with other people who were also waiting and had already qualified to be released. Then they explained to us that the documents we had in our hands were our personal identification in the United States, and we could use the documents to travel on buses and airplanes. They also explained to us that we could use those documents to apply for our documents to become legal here. And after that, they explained all of the benefits, they said, "Welcome to the United States of North America." And from there, they transported us to a refugee camp. And all of this occurred in one day. So welcome to the United States. This is someone who just crossed the border illegally and to commit crime. And they were not only welcome to the United States, but then they were giving all kinds of benefits at the cost of the taxpayer. So let's listen to her in her words, and then we'll move on from there to other topics.
Bueno, cuando pasé, me sentaron, me explicaron todos los beneficios que tenía, que podía recurrir a ayudas del gobierno, podría recurrir a seguros para el niño, seguros médicos, podía recurrir a ayuda para el bebé solamente, ayuda de comida. Y allí, bueno, después que terminé con las personas, pasó un ratito que me hicieron la prueba de ADN para ver que mi hijo, o sea, no, era mi hijo, pues para comprobar que era mi hijo. Y después allí me sentaron en unas sillas con las otras personas que habían calificado ese día para salir. Y ahí nos explicaron que los documentos que nos estaban en nuestras manos, pues era como nuestra identificación aquí en Estados Unidos, que con eso podíamos viajar en bus, en avión, que con eso podíamos sacar nuestros papeles más legalmente aquí, Y después que nos explicaron todo eso de las ayudas y toda la cuestión, pues nos dijeron bienvenidos a los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica y ya le decimos que van a un refugio y salimos de migración.
Now understand there are 4 women listed here as human trafficking victims that were smuggled across the border in addition to her. 2 of the human trafficking victims admitted they had to pay off a coyote debt of $6,000. Make no mistake about it, the government is complicit and is aiding and abetting human trafficking in the United States because they're creating an environment for people to start out here at more than they amassed where they came from. In addition to that, there is a wide open border where fentanyl is coming across, and that is encouraged. And as a result of that, we have thousands upon thousands of people dying in the United States. And then the best that our federal politicians can say was, well, it didn't kill as many people this year as last year. I don't even need to comment more about that. All the while, we have people that are suffering that have not received help yet from the federal government as a result of the hurricanes in North Carolina and in Florida and Polk County. The aid's not come through yet. There are people, irrespective of the hurricanes in this nation, that need help, that need support, but they don't get that support that these folks get for coming across the border illegally. When are we going to get tired of this?
Make it make sense. Like I said, the math ain't mathing.
We had enough. What if we said, when are we going to say the hardworking people in the United States are who we need to be taking care of? Not creating an environment and encouraging people to come across the border illegally in violation of federal law, and then welcoming them to the United States and showering them with gifts at the taxpayer's expense, while people in our own.
Yeah, the showering the gifts, that's the part. That part right there. Medicaid, that's free health care for them. Free food. Man, when you came up in the ghettos, man, that hit different here and that stuff. Oh my goodness. And I'm sure all the people in the ghettos that been rejected, they feeling some type of way. Trust me.
Own nation are not receiving what they should receive. And here's the human trafficker we were able to arrest. Travis Hutchinson, he's 25. He lives in Davenport. He was dealing with 2 females, one from Colombia and one from Venezuela. Now, the Colombian came to Mexico, to California, and then to here. She was recruited by a coyote who took her to the border and said, all you have to do is walk across. Understand, the coyotes weren't even having to smuggle or hide them in vehicles and bring them across the border late at night. The coyote now rounds you up, takes you to the border and says, walk right through here and go into that processing center. Well, our Colombian victim and our Venezuelan victim of human trafficking met there. And then they were flown from California to Florida. Now, Travis was here. He was talking to the coyote in California who said, I'm sending them to you. And they had to work to pay off the debt. Travis would set up the appointments. They were having to turn as many as 20 tricks a day apiece in order to pay off their debt. So they were paying the coyote's debt off. They were then paying Travis, and he was setting up all of these operations. Oh, they can even use Cash App if you don't have cash. It's amazing to me. So Travis, when when they would refuse or say, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore, he would slap and choke one of our victims and threaten them if they did not get out and go back to work. It is exciting. If this operation had only involved his arrest, it would have been a success. But let me go over a few more of the arrests. Now, what would an autumn sweep operation be? What would any of our undercover operations be where we're dealing with human trafficking, prostitution, child predators without Disney? We always arrest Disney employees. This is Eubanus Muta. He's 28 from Davenport. He's a wood carving artist when he's not soliciting prostitution. This is Kyle Widmeyer. He's 20 from Philadelphia. He works as a custodian for Disney. He said he just moved to Florida at the end of September from Philadelphia. Well, Kyle, welcome to Florida. Welcome to Polk County. Welcome to the jail. And
put him under the jail.
He's 35. He's from Haines City. He works backstage utilities. Oh, by the way, he's married and had a wife at home. And of course, being patriotic, people wanting to have sex, there's the military members. Juan Barrio, who's 47. He's a disabled vet. He was born in Colombia. Norel Cooper from Orlando, Navy Reserve, supply clerk. He's stationed in Jacksonville. Then there's Alejandro Parra. He's 20 from Davie, Florida. He's a paralegal in the Army, stationed in Orlando. You know what he told us? I literally do this at my job, meaning he processes paper for soldiers that are arrested. Well, heck, when he bonds out, he can go process his own paperwork. You know what I mean? And then I always like to point out the loyal husbands who leave their wives or fiancés at home while they have sex. So here's Leanthony Williams. He was arrested on Friday, October the 4th, just before he was to get married on Tuesday, 4 days later. The fiancé was out of town at the time, and hey, he had some spare time on his hands. What can you say? You know, his quote was, I hope she doesn't find out. Well, newsflash, it's going to be on every station, on social media. You know, she's going to find out. Then there's Jonathan Webster. He came all the way from the UK, from England. He was here on a 2-week vacation with his fiance, and his fiance thought he was going to Walmart. Well, it was a Walmart of sorts. It was a Walmart of sex, a Walmart to get caught. But Jonathan's fiance now knows that he wasn't at Walmart. He was at Grady Mart. Dominique Price, 30, from Mineola. His fiance is pregnant. He told her that he was going to the gym for a little exercise. I guess you could call that exercise. He was arrested on Friday, October 4th.
I'm about to say, did he lie?
That's okay. He had 2 days to bond out before the baby was due on Sunday. And then there's always the previous sting arrest. You know, Tommy Thomas, 28, from Haines City. He was arrested in 2019. He said, hey, I had such a great time getting arrested by the sheriff's office and the team of detectives from the police departments. I think I'll go back and get arrested again. So that's what happened. And then Jose Perez says, well, you're not by yourself. I'm 38. I'm from Haines City. And he was arrested in 2017. His wife thought he was at work. Then there's Evans Joseph Jr. He was a prostitute, not a John. He was arrested in 2022 for offering to commit prostitution. And then this was kind of one of my favorites, so I gave him his own card by himself. Darren Sandiardo, he's 43, he's from Brentwood, New York. He's a volunteer firefighter, has been for 25 years. He's here on vacation. He's married with a 5-year-old son, charged with solicitation. So there you go. But in addition to our human trafficker, if we only made these 3 arrests, it would have been a success. Because you see, in addition to a human trafficking operations, we're also doing a child predator operation. These 3 folks traveled to the undercover location thinking they were going to have sex with a child. That's right. These are what we call pedophile or dangerous child sex predators. Michael Gillis is from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Now, there's a story about that. He was arrested in Minnesota for trying to have sex with a 14-year-old little boy. Not only was he arrested for trying to have sex with a 14-year-old little boy, but he was out on an $85,000 bond from that charge. So he came to Orlando to work as a videographer. And he thought, well, you know, I'm out on bond. Heck, let me go see if I can pick up a 14-year-old in Florida. And that's what he did. He showed up at our operation, and he was promptly arrested again for trying to have sex with a 14-year-old little boy, where he was put in jail on a $72,000 bond and required to have an ankle monitor. Well, you would think...
No. 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 Now they got Young Thug in there with no bail and keep denying his bail or bond. And he didn't do none of this filthiness here. But yet this filthiness could keep getting released. And I hope they don't say when they let him out, he tried to do it again.
Minnesota would revoke his bond and say, hey, if you're out, you've got children at risk. But, you know, he hasn't been to trial yet. They haven't even revoked his bond. Minnesota's not even trying to arrest him. Now, we're working with the police up there that are working very hard to try to get him rearrested on their charges. Because after all, he didn't make his October 10th court appearance in Minnesota because he was tied up here. Now he's out on a bond wearing an ankle monitor, and he can't leave the state. So I don't know how he answers to the charges up there until he answers to the charges here. But at the end of the day, he made admissions to us. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the classic example. If these child predators are not locked up, children are in danger. And you would think that he would be afraid or scared or worried from his arrest in Minnesota doing the same thing. He would at least behave for a while. No, he comes right back to Florida and does the same thing. And then there's Ezekiel Mija from Haines City. He's here illegally. So here's an example. I want the current administration, the federal government, to understand, because you encourage, because you don't have any border security, that you are not only allowing, but in.
All right, we gonna get off of that. Parents, you see, I remember once upon a time, everybody used to be clowning when they see the parents walking around with their kids on one of these things. But the way things are today, them the smart ones. This is what these parents need to be doing, especially walking around in Disneyland or places like that where it's a higher risk. Yeah, I see it different now. Put them on a leash. Put them on a leash. I mean that. It's better to have them on the leash and people talk about you than to sit up there and don't put them on the leash and then they end up missing. with that being said, did y'all hear about Elon Musk giving out $1 million a day all the way until election is over or till election day? That's crazy. But that's what rich people do. They could do that. $1 million. But let's get into it anyway. Pardon.
Welcome back. Videos are flooding social media now of billionaire Elon Musk's $1 million giveaway to voters in swing states. To qualify, you've got to sign a petition supporting the First and Second Amendments. But there's a catch. You can only sign the petition if you're a registered voter. Critics have questioned whether that move is legal or not, but Musk's PAC says they're confident it is. So chances are you heard about that, but probably not this. A different effort to appeal to swing state voters, this time by an organization that calls itself Progress 2028. They're running ads, these ads in particular, misleading ads right now as we speak on Facebook, appearing to look like they're from Kamala Harris or Democratic supporters, but they're touting policy positions that often the Harris campaign explicitly does not have, like claiming Harris wants to ban fracking. This show, us here, we reviewed Facebook ad data, and more than 300 of these ads were purchased to be placed in the feeds of voters in every single swing state. So to talk more about that and about that Elon Musk giveaway, we want to bring in Anna Masoglia with Open Secrets, who began some of the reporting on those ads. Anna, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for joining us. Where do these ads come from? Who is behind them?
Well, Progress 2028 is a project of a group called Building America's Future that is a dark money group. We don't know who many of the funders are behind it, but it is tied to Elon Musk based on reporting by the New York Times. And it, you can get giveaways, you can have events, but really where it gets into much murkier legal territory is when you are giving for the purpose of only supporting votes. You can't pay for votes, you can't buy votes, and when you are giving to a cause that requires people to be registered voters, it's much less clear.
So is my understanding correct that the gray area is because he is not necessarily paying someone directly for their vote or to register to vote? He's paying them theoretically, if they win this giveaway, to sign this petition that happens to be connected to his PAC, and obviously he has endorsed a candidate. Is that all correct?
Correct. And where it has issues is because they have to be registered voters in order to sign up.
Interesting. So if they didn't have to be registered voters, or if it wasn't a campaign, particularly in swing states, which it is, he would potentially not have the legal issues that he may be having now.
That's correct.
Now, the campaign, or the PAC rather, has said this is legal. We know that there's a call for various local and federal authorities to investigate this. But point being, it all hinges upon, is he or is he not paying someone directly for their vote? That's the law here.
Exactly. And we're in really uncharted territory here because he has such unprecedented funds to pour into this. We really haven't faced this.
Well, he really not paying them for an actual vote. Like, it's not paying them to make them vote for who he want them to vote for. So I don't know. That's a tough one. Like they said, it's a gray area. But is he paying for them to vote for the amendments votes? Would that be considered still paying for votes? Just not electoral votes? I don't know. Put your comments in the comments section. Matter of fact, shout out to any and everybody who visited the room. I've been busy chefing it up. Wasn't really paying attention because I know ain't too many people gonna stop through. But you know, I gotta get that practice in. Gotta start from humble beginnings. So here's my humble beginnings.
Issue before.
And this is something we never really have seen anything like before. Or are there other examples of this going on?
None that I'm aware of.
Interesting. And help me understand here then. You know, you said he can put as much money he wants into a PAC. I want to go back to those ads that we were talking about, the Facebook ads. You said that that group was a quote unquote dark money group. Explain to me what that is, meaning you can give money to them, but they don't have to disclose their donors?
That's correct. So Progress 2028 is a fictitious name or project of a group called Building America's Future. They don't have to disclose their donors because they are a 501c4 nonprofit. Unlike a super PAC, which does have to disclose its donors to the Federal Election Commission and file a number of financial disclosures with the FEC. But because of the way it's...
Well, I think I did pretty good, people. What time is it? How long I've been live? An hour and 17 minutes. Yup. 1 hour. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. So, y'all stay blessed up. Keep moving forward. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.